Greetings everyone, I'm Core the Second, and welcome to the Aether Beta sneak peek. Now this was a map I created for the winners of the quest for Rubies, but unfortunately the live stream was corrupted, so I'm working on combining the footage that Grim here made, and the sound that was from my live stream, and I want to make a working actual video that you can watch. But for now, this is just to show you what we showed the winners and the content in this beta that's upcoming, and just the fun adventure that I created, and I'll explain everything as we go through it. So first of all, this was meant for 2 players because all teams had 2 members, and so I'll take each of these. And so the first challenge in this, and actually the textures are kind of messed up, I think it's 1.15, so just don't pay attention. And the thing is, we need both these potions to pass through. We don't really need the slow falling, but it just helps because you wouldn't take fall damage. And these are actually the potions that you get in your first starter chest, starter box, that you get when you start your world in the Aether. And they're actually for the dungeon, but the dungeon hasn't made it yet. But it'll be there in the beta, and this actually is the dungeon block that will be used for the beta. Actually, I should have used the column block here instead, now that I think about it. So, Grim here stole everything, so I can't show you now. But I can tell you basically, the dirt can only be placed on top of the shulker box. There's bone meal, and there's sticks, as well as a dead bush. So, what we need to do is, this eternal flame can be placed on crafting tables, or a bronze dungeon block. So you can place it here or here. And the purpose of them is to actually smelt these dead bushes into a working oak sapling. Now some of the textures are still old, but you get the whole gist of it so far. So what we need to do is, this actually is the translucent merchant, which used to be invisible when I was working on it, but for some reason now he's not. So nothing makes sense to me anymore in this texture change. But there's actually also a pond of water, and I'll explain that later. So what Grim is doing right now, he's getting these much needed barks for the crafting. And actually I need to give everybody all the recipes because I'm still working on implementing those, because I haven't decided for every item what's the recipe going to be, and that's why I haven't touched it. But the thing is, the recipes unlock in advancements, so you need to have for every single item an advancement, and that's a lot of work basically. So yeah, and also for every material you need to get a recipe that contains this material, so you know what you can do with it. So that's a lot of files, a lot of work. And so Grim over here is doing all the work while I'm explaining. The thing is, with this translucent merchant, you can exchange not working items that you just craft to working ones. They can break blocks, can be placed on blocks, and that's what you need. So our sapling is done. Now he's going to buy a real one and place it here and get a nice advancement, by the way. I need to outline some advancements for you guys. I have unlocked all of them, so I can show you. This is the team trees, plant a sapling for planting all saplings, reforestation. For crafting, let's not touch that yet. Mining, it's about lifting rocks, collect a shard of every single stone, but we can't do that now because on the map we only have regular stone. Iron belly for eating orange. This is to teach the player that orange is edible. For mining zenite, of course. For getting a zenite to your tool, and then once you get that you can reach gold and ambrosia, and from gold you can craft a bucket, and buckets are essential to surviving in the Aether basically. Ruby dog, upgrade to a ruby pickaxe, and the toughest there is, use your ruby pickaxe to mine aerogel. So I'll ask him, did you craft a stone axe? Because we'll need a stone axe. Because we cannot get actual wood from this with a wooden axe. We only get bark, and with that we can upgrade our tools and we can make wooden tools, but not a stone axe. Oh, nice! So he can use it on I think he forgot that he has all this bone meal. So from all this gold, we don't really need the Zanite, but we need the gold to make 2 buckets that we can buy from this merchant. And we need 2 golds to pass the room, and we also need an apple. That's why we grow in a tree. So yeah, I'll just ask him to break the rest of the tree. Alright. You can also use the axes to break leaves, it doesn't matter. Because they're not affected by the tier mechanic that I showed off in one of the sneak peeks videos. So don't worry about it. And that's how we got our first apple, ladies and gentlemen. So it's designed for 2 players. You have enough items for 2 players. The one mistake that every player made is that they didn't make a stone axe, and that's because they're not really used to this mechanic yet. Because in Minecraft we know that we need to update our tools, only even to the pickaxe, because other tools, they really have no effect on what drops we're gonna get. But it's all different with the Aether. So now we can actually make sticks, and we need sticks in future. So that's awesome that he got that for us. I don't really have anything. I think he's got everything in his inventory. So apples aren't really useful for much. We need one, but we also can have them to eat. We don't really need much food in this map because it's really short. Nice, he made sticks. Yeah, I don't really have tools that I could break this. Alright, so now I can make a wooden pickaxe. I'll sell it, of course. And I didn't need to do that now because he gave me stone, and I can make a stone pickaxe instead. Thanks a lot for that. Come on, Graham, what are you doing? Come on, Hulk, what are you doing? But yeah, we can also get stone from stone instead of pebbles, and that allows us to get way more pebbles because 1 stone is 9 pebbles, and with the wooden pickaxe it would drop just a couple pebbles, so we get way more when we upgrade our tools. So we need 1 more bucket. Let's craft this Zenith pickaxe really quick. Oh yeah, victim of my own design. I could have made it so that it just gives you the items, but it was really it really take a lot of time. You didn't have that much time to prepare for the actual map. Wait, does he have gold? I'm just double checking. I'm pretty sure he does, so I don't waste it on the bucket by accident. Weird. Oh, he already got. Oh, that's why. Okay. So, we need to exchange this bucket for a working one, and then we can place it, take the water. But for some reason, this bucket broke. Like throughout the map, it used to work, but then it just broke, and we didn't even change the code. We didn't do anything. So I have no idea why it doesn't work. It's some Minecraft bug, because it's the same thing as everything else. So yeah, we can just throw this away. So the buckets are needed for 2 things. First of all, we need them to but also actually we can drink the potions. Oh, put our water down. So yeah, that's why the buckets are useful, because there's a whole room of Zephyrs in here that we need to kill really quick, and they all drop snowballs and string for us, which is what we need. Oh, I got caught in the levitation again. That's alright, because all we need to pass this room is ice. And to make ice, we just need to charge our freezer here with the snowballs, and they will have enough to actually turn our water into ice. So this is showcasing how the freezer works. Alright, and now we can get all this gear from the chests. For the remaining sticks, we're supposed to craft ourselves a bow. And for the string that we got from the Zephyrs, we're supposed to also have enough for a bow. And now we can suit up for the next room. Textures are pretty bad, I know. But yeah. I admit that. I'm definitely gonna be changing those because they don't look good. So yeah. That's it, we got our bows. And we're ready for our next room, right? All we need is to grab the ice. And we don't need the buckets anymore. So yeah, we can just place it onto here. And we gotta go in with caution because these guys are everywhere. And what the Gravitite axe is for is actually not for fighting. If you've seen my previous video, and as you can see by this advancement, Gravitite tools actually possess a power of magnetism, and they attract drops towards you, like experience and items. So if I hold this axe for a second, all the drops begin floating towards me, and most of the time they avoid obstacles, but sometimes they can glitch out. We're still working on perfect detection for them. As you can see, there's experience right here, but it doesn't want to go through the blocks because I want to make it behave naturally. So together we're gonna have enough drops to get us to the next room. Trade with the merchant, and I think we're done. You can put it in your offhand as well, and as you can see, if I drop these items, they're still going to be floating towards me. They have a pickup delay once you drop items, that's why they don't go to your inventory immediately. So that's how that works. And let's give him my onyx. Oh, sorry about that. You gotta be careful while dropping items because Gravitite stuff pulls them towards you. So we need 1 onyx ingot, and for that we need 9 onyx nuggets. Let me just quickly get to this. So that's how you make an onyx nugget, ingot, I'm sorry, with the nuggets. And I think he's got it. Yep. Now we can pass on to the final room. Not as exciting, but it's very interesting because actually I want to pick this instead. Yeah, that's better for orangey because we don't have an ore smelter. And I can place this in my offhand and all the I'll get all the drops from it. Unless Grim is standing in front of me, then the items will probably go towards him. So we can also get Zena is actually pretty good because we also get pebbles, so we can get even more stone from this. And never mind the breaking sounds. I think it's because of the server, because in my single player world it doesn't make the breaking sounds. Pretty sure it's the breaking armor stands that I use for and Grim forgot here that we have a problem with the altar. So it's a little bit of a glitch with the altar. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's because I'm holding the Gravitite axe in my offhand. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. So I forgot to add the code for these items. And the book itself, actually, that's also a graphical glitch. I have to resort to this, unfortunately. These are useless because we cannot place them down. So all we need is 15. And 1 single stone. And we can enchant the stone to get enchanted stone. That rhymed. And we can trade these for placeables. So we have 3 slider eye blocks, 1 slider eye, no texture at the moment, 1 block of bloodstone, 1 ruby pickaxe, and 30 enchanted stones. So this is actually a very hard puzzle to figure out, but our first team didn't really struggle with this because they were familiar with the mod. and they knew how the slider looks, so it was not a problem for them. So we need this pickaxe to in order to break the stuff, and we need these slider eye blocks. So we need one more slider eye block, as the item suggests. We can craft it like this, but it's really broken for some reason. So I'm gonna just show you this really quick. There we are. Just Minecraft bugs, really. This we need to get rid of the altar that we don't need anymore. And this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to build the slider, which is what you're gonna be doing in the actual data pack when it comes out. And I forgot, I need to trade this really quick. And there we are. We're almost done with the process. I'm pretty sure in the first dungeon you just need to find it, and then you can battle the slider. So you don't actually need to build him, because it's very expensive to enchant all the stone, and for the slider eye blocks, how many enchanted stones you need. It's even though orange is very abundant, it's a very long process and very tedious. And I'll make it easier, because every slider will drop additional items that will help you craft a new slider material. They can summon them, but I wanted to make it intentionally expensive. So let's not keep talking on this. Let's just keep going. I'll place this block, but before I go, I needed to point out that if you're really careful, examine which blocks can be placed where, then you can tell how you're supposed to build it. But people still have trouble because they were not familiar with the Aether mod. But let me place this final block, and we'll be finishing the map. Inventory cleared. We're in this nothingness, and I think people didn't really notice, but it's a reference to the original Aether mod. Every time you're in the slider room, it will play these creepy cave sounds. So I played one sound. That would be a reference to that. So we're in Spectator. We're flying out of this void, and this is how the map looks like. Wanted to make sure I don't place any unnecessary blocks. But yeah, this is the whole thing. And yeah, that was our beta sneak peeks for the winners. We actually held this entire server separately just for the winners of the tournament, so you can tell that we actually cared about the reward and everything. And next time I've planned something really cool. I don't want to reveal anything yet, but I actually think by the time the next sneak peek rolls around, I'll have a functioning prototype of a slider dungeon and boss fight. Sorry about the voice. So if you wanna partake in the next tournament that we'll have on our Aether server, then you need to join my Discord and look for updates, because I'm going to be working on all of this stuff. And the next time we're gonna have a much better time, because next time we'll have a different type of competition. I think most people, if not everybody, will like it more than this one, definitely. But yeah, I think even despite the technical difficulties, the problems with this tournament were that we were not determined how you can win, and that could be a downside and an upside, because our first ruby was found very fast, but our second ruby was not even found properly. It took way too long. So yeah, that was one of the problems, and I'm definitely working on fixing it. I got my I understand what the problems were with our design of this event, and we'll definitely make it better next time for you. And what we have in store planned is very exciting, so make sure to stick around. And yeah, just follow the development. And especially huge thanks to Grim, who's hosting all these servers for me literally for free. I don't pay him a single cent, and that is absolutely amazing. You should check out his Patreon page, because he hosts these Minecraft servers for Bedrock and Java, all for free, just for your enjoyment. So you really need to support him, because he supports creators like me, and that's very important too. So check out his page in the description. He didn't ask me to tell you this. So yeah, that's just me talking. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed the sneak peek and you're excited for the future of Aether. To follow the development, just join my Discord, because I keep posting new things that I add to the pack. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. As always, stay